Greetings and welcome to the Rock and Roll podcast. Check out this record. My name is Marc.
Yes.
And with me, as always, is more beautiful than the loveliest of onions. It's Frankie D.
Hey, Mark. And, I sometimes tell people that the world is your oyster. And I think in this episode, that might be true.
It very well may be. Welcome back to the show, friends. Remember, you can check out this record, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and even Amazon Music, or wherever you find the finest of podcasts. Golly heck, we're even on YouTube, Frank.
Oh, who put us on there, my friend? That's right. Listen,
you did.
New episodes I did, right? New episodes drip and drop directly to your ears and mine every Friday. And of course, we do all this for your listening pleasure.
That's right. So what the heck is Check Out This Record? That's a great question. And hey, thanks for asking. Yeah. Here on Check Out This Record, Frank and I push the limits of our long-term friendship by recommending music to each other. Yeah. For us to check out and give a thorough track-by-track review. We also indulge in a wide array of musical discussions, like in our Spotlight series, where we'll dig into a band's catalog and see what comes out on the other side.
Or Mark in our Versus series, where we pit two albums against each other, and they duke it out for what's known as total stereo domination.
Don't forget to pop over to the world famous Tube of You.
Ooh.
And watch as we make just the silliest faces at each other while trying to put this podcast together. It's just for them too, right, Frank?
That's right, Mark. That is right. And don't forget, everyone, that we have more exclusive content coming that you're not going to want to miss.
Oh, I totally read the wrong thing, didn't I?
It's all good. It's all fine.
That's right, my brosif. Now, as we get into the show here, I want to talk to you, Frank.
Yes.
You mentioned you had heard the name Shannon and the Clams before, but you hadn't kind of really heard them until now.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you this. Does the sound match up with what your brain came up with after hearing the name Shannon and the Clams?
Yeah, anytime you use seafood in a song, or in this case, a band title or the name of the band, it's hard to know what to expect. I'm not going to lie. So let's think about it. You got Fish, which is a crappy hippie band. Great White, which we actually did an episode on, crap hair metal. Hootie and the Blowfish. All right. Fishbone and Real Big Fish. Right? They're, kind of like ska. So it's hard to predict, but visually, in my research, right before I heard the music and sat down and listened to it, looking at the album, I sensed this was obviously going to be a throwback of sorts. I may have expected initially some rockabilly, a little bit more, but that's okay. And I also envisioned Shannon to be the guitar player. So that's why when I kept looking at videos after the end, I'm like, oh, how come she's not playing guitar? It's because she's playing a bass.
That's right. She plays bass. She plays guitar wrong by playing a bass.
Right, exactly.
Wowie zowie, as you like to say, friend. I was not expecting that. Scandalous. Moving on to Shannon and the Fabulous Clams.
Yes.
The band that is fronted by Shannon Shaw on bass, as Frank mentioned, Cody Blanchard on guitar. I hope I said your name right, dude. And both of them, sharing lead vocal duties. Although on this album, it's primarily Shannon.
Right.
Thank you. With Will Sprott on keyboards and Nate Mahan on drums. Again, if I said your last name's wrong, I was raised in America. Blame the education. Anyways, the quartet is based out of Oakland, California. However, the album that we're talking about tonight, Onions, and its follow-up, Year of the Spider, were recorded at their producer and label studio in Nashville, Tennessee. That producer is none other than Dan Auerbach of the Black Keys. Please see our back catalog. And the label is, of course, his Easy Eye Sounds record label. An excellent choice of producer for a band aimed at such a unique retro sound. I must give them that. Moving along, I don't know why I said I must give them that. Like I was writing this as though I was going to be really disappointed in the record. I don't know. Anyways, moving along. Onion was recorded over 10 days, Frank, in January 2017 and released February 16th of 2018. The album is partially inspired by and pays tribute to the victims and survivors of the 2016 Oakland ghost ship warehouse fire. I'm sorry, there's a lot of words in that. 2016 Oakland ghost ship warehouse fire. It's a lot. It was a tragic event. I'm sorry. The building housed an underground community of artists and musicians, complete with its own concert hall. However, it was not permitted for either housing or entertainment. Unfortunately, that night, 36 people attending a concert perished in the warehouse hosting the fire as it caught fire. Sorry, that's a shitty sentence to have to read out loud. It's one of the city of Oakland's most deadly historical events. You can really imagine it had quite some impact.
Yeah.
Shaw would say, we lost some friends, and the entire community lost our bright, sparkling gems.
Yeah.
With Nate Mahan adding, that tragedy will affect every album we make going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think looking at the light in this is that it's cool that they made this dedication, because this shows you how in the event of a tragedy like this, we could cement like memories and legacies via music. So the fact that they want to carry that on with the future albums and everything else is really cool.
Yeah, as you can imagine here, there's going to be quite a bit more to unpack. So why don't we dive into the first track of this audio odyssey?
Let's go, my companion.
All right, track 1, The Boy. This song is, of course, about Frank. No, it's not.
Oh, thank you.
No, it's not. Okay. Shannon and the Clams kick off Onion with a lo-fi rocker. It has a ton of late 50s and early shake and groove.
Yeah.
Add to that a clean and simple hook and these beautifully dark and mysterious verses. It all comes together seamlessly, making the listener think they already know it as they hear it for the very first time.
Yeah.
I love the lines, touch me and teach me how to cry. Oh, how good is that line, Frank?
Oh, great.
And this bone will break along a line, been drawn for a long time.
Yeah.
Really powerful stuff, Frank.
Yeah, totally.
How do you feel about opening number, The Boy?
Yeah, so what a great tune that blends the old with the new. It's got that great and gritty lo-fi feel, but it's also neat around the edges with super clear and clean tones and spot on singing. I know this is album 5, but man, this could totally have been like the first track on the first album that welcomes people to their world,
Yeah.
So totally cool number and great track to open up.
Track 2, It's Going to Go Away. What starts as a fun, jangly pop number quickly turns to the end of a very personal relationship at its rough ending, and the callousness one must develop to overcome that pain. I really like the way the band shifts with the lyrics to a darker and darker place as Shannon weaves her tale. I really enjoyed the band's swell of emotion as the song comes to its close. Really stunning. Frank, did this introspective psychedelic number work for you?
Yeah. The key with these tunes, well, I guess all tunes in general, is to find like that the crevices where you can make it memorable. And to me, the verses are that narrow moment where you have to get it right and deliver, and they totally did. I mean, Shannon's raspy voice mixed with the atmosphere really creates for a memorable track. And everyone is so what's the word I'm looking for, conditioned to be like hook and chorus, and kind of the verses there to bridge the gaps. But in this song, like the verse is just completely on point. So I was digging it.
Very nice. Track 3 is Backstreets. This is the first of the 3 songs inspired by the ghost ship fire. This one is about the people that's homes were destroyed in the fire, now homeless, searching for places to hide, places to sleep, searching for places to live, really. I love the band's use of the studio here. The sound is crisp and ethereal, floating just above their microphones, like they're riding the Gravitron, Frank.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure I like this one the most out of the album. There's just so much going on in this album. I really had a hard time picking a favorite, but this is definitely at the top. Frank, it's a touching tribute with a bit of backstory, but without that backstory, does the song still feel as grand as I just described it?
Yeah, because you know, again, it's a total throwback, and it's funny because we get the lyrics saying "a runaway," and the song that it immediately made me think of is "Runaway" by Del Shannon. And now thinking ironically, because the singer is Shannon, Del Shannon, "Runaway," and I don't know if they meant for that. I don't know if that was intentional, but it's really cool, really,
Yeah.
really cool, really cool. And listen, the sound is just great and almost has like a very similar in line to Lord Huron and their contemporaries. So they're kind of doing that thing too, which is really cool to capture these moments and these moods. But you know, track three and 3 out of 3 so far in my world.
Yeah, and definitely a great point there. The moods Shannon and the Clams are able to achieve by just seamlessly floating in and out of these songs is really cool and unique. That's one of the things I was surprised with this album is how coherent it comes across. And
Yes,
they do that by having a consistent mood throughout.
totally.
Track 4,
Hmm.
if you could know,
Oh,
we get some more fun jangly guitars and a fun little doo-wop bit, plus this cool bridge via the keyboard work of Will Sprott. I think it's a fun number. If only I could know what you could think, Frank.
I like that the song is short, and it's not because I dislike it. I just like because it adds variety. If
Mhm,
I am being honest, I like the tone of her voice in the first 3 tracks better.
mhm.
But hey, man, I can't sing, so what do I know? What do I know?
What I know is that track 5, I never wanted love.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mark.
Kind of, I don't mean this as an insult, Frank, but I get that like big bouncing ball energy on the bass. She's
Yeah.
really just making it bump, bump, bump
Oh, yeah.
as the song opens, but it's paired with these wonderfully mysterious lyrics that suggest someone getting hypothermia to avoid being too close to his bedmate, despite
Yeah.
the band, excuse me, despite their hands being tied together. I really love that chorus of tying our hands together. Frank, what did you think, and would you tie your hands to mine?
Of course, but then
Oh,
just so you know, right after I have to go to the bathroom.
okay.
Okay. This is another fun tune. And what I like is that you can't pinpoint if it's modern or this legit occurred in the 60s. Production aside, because obviously
Yeah.
production and technology has advanced vastly since then. But still though, it's well, what time period is this in? And that's what's cool. And I know that's the intent that they were going for. So thumbs
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
That worked perfectly in creating that timeless feel, right?
Yeah.
Track 6, title track, buddy, Onion.
Oh.
Now I'm digging this lo-fi garage punk sound backed with this kind of cool 60s doo-wop harmony. Shannon lays these gorgeously crafted metaphors out for you to just kind of ponder over before a killer guitar solo
Oh yeah.
you didn't see coming, because you really haven't seen a ton of guitar work here, and it really just comes out of nowhere and blows you away. Great bit of soul on the buildup and exit to the end of the song. What did you think of the title track, Frank? Bad use of a Shrek metaphor, or a bold modern indie classic, or something else?
Mark, the title track, right? Here we are, right?
Yes.
I like the garage punk intro with the guitars. In fact, the guitar work on the track is just extremely spot on. I wouldn't say it's my favorite though, because I have this weird thing with using food in songs.
Right.
I know it's a metaphor. I get it, but the onion's supposed to be. It's just a weird hang up I have. And yes, Mark, ogres are like onions.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, track 7, Did You Love Me?
Boy.
First ballad of the album. I like the placement of it here after Onions. A great choice to slow the pace gradually. So when this lovely title turn, ladle, excuse me, when this lovely little tune floats in on a storm cloud, it
Yeah.
feels just right. Shannon really does a great job on her vocal performance here, treating this number like a classic soul singer would.
Yeah.
What I dig about this band is the way they can collectively turn the mood of a song as well as Shannon can with her singing, and they do so so very well, so that she can really express as much of Shannon, excuse me, so they can express as much as a band musically as she can with her words. That took a long time to get that out of my mouth. Frank, am I full of shit, or did you love me? Word for you.
Great emotional bone chilling song, and the video is really cool too.
Yeah, the video is cool.
I like it a lot. Really well thought out. Even though this is about heartbreak, there's a mood about it where it's like you could almost listen to this during the summer, like in your backyard chilling, and just be okay with it. There's pain, yes, for sure. But for me, I don't know. I found for some reason that mood gives us some hope. And I don't know if just visually I'm seeing the video and just knowing kind of them and studying them for the past couple of days and week. But to me, there was some hope, but it is a bone chilling song. Absolutely.
Yeah. Very cool. Track number 8 is Love Strike.
Love Strike.
Yeah, the keyboard and bass really steal the show here with a pop number that feels like the band stole it from aliens that stole it from like an early 60s R&B group that was, abducted out of their tour bus or something. I love it. That said, it's not like it wasn't the coolest track on here for me, but I thought it was a lot of fun. It had a great energy to it. And I think it was fun to kind of try to dig and get into just to see a little bit more of what the band's at. Frank, you going on a Love Strike?
Oh, you know it, buddy.
Yeah.
I do like the fast tempo of the song, but I do agree with you in the sense where it's not overly engaging after, and the chorus feels like it's just dragging a little bit. But hey, if we're talking about bowling here, they all can't be strikes.
That's right. That is true. That is true. Track 9.
Right.
I Leave Again.
Ooh.
Yeah, big keyboard feature here, giving us a modern, jangly take on the kind of classic country sound, best compared to like Riders on the Storm meets Rawhide.
Yeah.
Pair that together in your brain. Pair that with Shannon belting out her lungs. I found the lyrics here to be shadowy and kind of intoxicating, Frank. I can confidently say this is, again, one of my favorite numbers on the album. What says you, Cowpoke?
Yeah, I mean, from the opening note to the final sound, this track has it all.
Yeah.
The classic country feel mixed with like the spooky keys and these clean guitar tones, and Shannon's vocals really exemplified the precision of the songwriting. And yeah, that chorus, it gets better each time you hear it. So that's great replay value.
Track 10, Trying. Another moody ballad, presumably about trying to get someone unstuck from the inside of your skull. You know what I mean, Frank? Yeah, in there. I love what they do with the vocals for Shannon in the choruses, in the later half of the song, adding a little texture and depth to the band's overall sound with a little bit of distortion there. What did you think of this one, Frank?
Another strong number. The tremolo just adds so much depth to the track. And a track with this length may suffer from its placement on the record. But again, there's some context. I mean, because I could see this actually as the closer if we were to end the record right here. I could totally see it as the closer. But we have another 3 tracks.
We certainly do, of which the next one is track 11. Tell Me When You Leave.
Okay, I will.
A super cute little clapping number that has a fun feel to it, despite its lyrical content surrounding yet another broken heart. I really enjoyed it, but it's not one of my favorites on the album. What about you, pal?
Yeah, so almost piggybacking what I said previously is I mentioned the placement, right? And I'm sure we could reference like 20, probably even more episodes where I yap about this. And there's, how this becomes like the potential spot on the album where there's some fillers. To me, this would have been actually better suited as a bonus track or maybe even something on an EP.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Track 12 is Strange Wind. This is the second song referring back to the ghost ship fire I mentioned earlier. It tells the story of what happened the night from the point of view of the band playing as the fire happened, theoretically. Right. And as the band does so well, they take the opportunity to express themselves with their chosen instruments in a passionate jam session that ties it all together. I dig the storytelling, Frank. What about you?
Yeah, great storytelling, and I love how it's from the viewpoint of the band playing when it occurred. So it's, you could write with an event like this that impacts a band or just anyone in general. I mean, you could write from the same viewpoint for the whole album basically, but they took a conscious effort to write it from this perspective, which is pretty cool. And I could see them kind of constructing it in the studio and really just being satisfied to express themselves in this manner about this event. So great little story.
Excellent, excellent. Well, the track 13, Don't Close Your Eyes, the third song based on The Fire. It's also the album's closing number. Shannon really puts her all into the performance to close out the album. Really stellar songwriting. Frank, how did you like Don't Close Your Eyes as the closer?
Yeah, so I said I think that they could have ended with trying, but this is like a more than a suitable ending. It captures the essence again of the event, and bam, like it put you there, and they have all the elements to put you there outside of the songs being good, vocals, the guitars, all the tones we talked about, but the moods, the lyrics, like you're there, you're really there with them. So this was the proper way to end an album. And don't listen to that guy, folks, because I would have edited 3 tracks earlier.
Well, I told you I wanted to listen to something different after we listened to Motley Fool. How'd I do? What'd you think of the album?
Yeah, have I ever mentioned how exhausting it is to review albums that suck?
It's the worst.
It really is. So anyway, Mark, you did marvelous. Okay. Listen, I've said it many times. I appreciate when bands get a niche and work to craft it to perfection while keeping the audience engaged. The Clams and Shannon do that here. Old meets new. It's presented to us in a way where you could really appreciate what came before. And I feel that gets lost sometimes, even with these bands who do dedicate themselves to a certain sound of yesteryear. They do it in such a way where you appreciate it. So you recognize what came before and you appreciate it. The tones and the overall vibes are spot on. I think the album, again, like I said, could end maybe in the first tracks, and there's a lot of strong material on there. The end may have dragged for me a little bit, but that's not a huge deal because you're going to speak to 20 people and they'll tell you something different. It's not an everyday record. You have to be in the mood for it, but it is a good record when you're in that mood. And I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Excellent, excellent. I'm happy to hear I didn't totally miss on this one.
No.
As I'm sure our listeners have figured out, I really enjoyed this record. It pulls you in with how familiar it feels right from the jump, with its neo doo-wop punk energy, coming together in a wonderful balance of dance numbers and heartbreak tunes with a hint of magic from another time and place. It's
totally
really hard to put a pin in these guys and figure out where they are. Giving this a solid 8 out of 10. I don't think this album is for everyone. This is an album for people who like things that are a little offbeat but full of soul. So I absolutely adore this, and I didn't write this in, but I want to mention it. Check out this record, definitely, but also the next album, Year of the Spider.
Yes.
Also produced by Dan Auerbach. I think they said, hey, let's do a Black Keys number on here. So there's a song on there that feels just like the Black Keys. But it's a great stepping stone. You really get to see the band develop. I just love what they did here. So that's why I picked this record over that record.
And if I could add to Shannon Shaw solo stuff, Shannon in Nashville is the 2018 record. Really cool vibes too. So
very cool. Yeah, well, please check that out. So all right, Frank, it's your turn to play a game. And that game is called Whose Song?
Oh, okay.
All right, now
I have no idea what to expect.
I didn't make this too hard.
Okay. Do I have to close my eyes, or do I?
If you could close your eyes, that would
take
really
my shirt
help.
off. Shirt off.
We'll definitely do that. Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. You're not actually taking your shirt off, are you?
No, but the pants just came off.
Oh, definitely. Cool. Okay. I'm missing one here.
No worries.
All right, we'll get to it. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways. Oh, that's why I did too many. Oh, there'll be a bonus question.
I love bonus mugs.
Okay. So, Frank.
Yes, I'm ready.
Whose song? Is it Shannon and the Clams or Dion?
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Song number 1, Runaway.
Well, Dion did a cover of Shannon's Runaway.
He did. Did he write an original song called Runaway?
Did he write an original song called Runaway? I'm gonna say yes.
No, Shannon and the Clams.
Son of a mother.
Track 2.
God.
Who
Sorry,
sang
Dion.
Shannon and the Clams or Dion? Was it Only You Know Was it Shannon and the Clams or Dion?
Wait. So the song is "Was It Only"?
I'm sorry. The song title is "Only You Know."
Only you know. Was it Shannon and the Clams or Dion? I'm gonna say this one was definitely Dion.
This one is definitely Dion.
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
Was it
Okay.
for the King of the New York Streets record?
Dude, he's got so many songs on so many
Yeah,
albums. How am I
I'm
supposed to keep
sorry.
up with that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
As I make this joke game up, whose song, Shannon and the Clams or Dion, "King of the Sea"?
King of the Sea. Well, he had King of the New York Streets. That one I know. So I'm going to say King of the Sea is Shannon and the Clams.
Correct.
Woo-hoo.
All right. That's 2 points for Frank. Okay.
Points for Frank.
All right.
Points for Frank.
Whose song, "Somebody Nobody Wants"? Shannon and the Clams or Dion?
Everybody loves somebody sometimes. That's Dean Martin, no?
That is Dean Martin, yeah. Somebody Nobody Wants.
It's Dion.
It is Dion. Ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding.
Ding-a-ling-a-ding
All
on.
right. All right. This one's a tough one.
Oh boy.
Little Star.
Little star, little star, little star, little star, little star. Not when you wish upon a star, which I thought, no, that was Nat King Cole. I'm going to say Dion.
Yes, correct. I made these too easy on you, didn't I?
Well, I mean,
All right.
yeah.
Who sang "I Need You Bad"? Shannon and the Clams or Dion?
Shannon the Clams.
Oh, correctamundo. Are you Googling these?
No.
You're not Googling? Okay.
No.
All right. You're 5 out of 6.
5 out of 6.
5 out of 6. All right.
Okay.
Who sang "Born to Be With You"?
Shannon the Clams.
Oh, incorrect.
Oh,
That's Dion, baby.
I'm the worst. The worst.
All right. You ready for the next one? Number 9?
Yes.
Who sang "All of My Crying"?
All of my crying.
Yep. CRYIN.
All right. I was going to say not crime.
No, crying.
Crying. Okay. Shannon the Clams.
Oh, correctamundo. All right. Last one. Are you ready?
I like this. Go ahead.
Who sang "Into a Dream"? Shannon and the Clams or Dion DiMucci?
Oh, Dion DiMucci. No, that's not my answer. My answer is, and it's called "Into the Dream."
Into a Dream.
Dion.
No, Shannon and the Clams.
And Shannon. No, I meant Shannon and. Oh man.
All right, you ready for the bonus question?
Yes, sir. Bonus mug.
Who sang "I Got to Get to You"?
To you, Dion.
Dion, correct.
Yeah, I got the, and I think he just had a re-release of that too with somebody. But yeah, I got to get to you.
All right. Hey, great job. 7 out of 10, buddy.
If I could tell you Mark, if you could see a snapshot of what accurately represented my academic career, that would be it. So
yes,
a nice 70%. There you go.
Nice. Okay. Hey, everybody, that guy's got a master's in business.
Yeah, I do.
Go figure. Man, you did not see that game coming, did you, Frank?
No.
I think people will be telling their kids about that game for years to come. Speaking of telling kids something's coming, what do you have in store for us next week, Frank?
Yeah. So, Mark, I dug into my bag of albums that I've wanted you to listen to and came up with the self-titled debut by the Stone Roses. It's crazy because this album is always considered and heralded one of the most important rock records. And I don't think many have heard of it or know much about the Roses. So we're going to dig into that next week, Mark.
Oh, my.
Oh, hell yes. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Listen, remember, like, subscribe, rate, review, and be safe out there.
Yeah, do all that stuff. Thank you for joining us so much, as always, this week on the podcast.
Yes.
Come on now, say it with us. Oh, my. Oh, hell yes.
Hell yes.
Oh. Bye-bye. Recording has ended. Oh, mature.